Life presents itself as a gift, but in reality, it operates more like forced labor. Survival is not optional. Pain acts as a motivator, pushing every living thing into action, while pleasure serves as a reward to reinforce behaviors tied to survival. Bodily needs and discomfort compel endless cycles of work, and relief is never permanent. It only resets the cycle, forcing the process to begin again. The body uses pain and discomfort as tools to ensure survival. Needs are signaled not as neutral reminders but as unpleasant punishments that intensify if ignored. At the same time, biology dangles rewards pleasure from eating, sex, or other survival-linked behaviors, creating a system of punishment and reward that keeps the individual trapped in compliance. In this way, survival becomes less a matter of choice and more an obligation enforced by biology itself. Hunger is annoying, painful emptiness. Eating brings relief, but the relief never lasts, as hunger always returns. The body even rewards eating with pleasure, tricking us into enjoying the very task that enslaves us, ensuring that we will willingly repeat it. Thirst, too, is a burning, dry discomfort. Drinking soothes it and feels refreshing, but only until the body depletes its water again. These cycles are never-ending, ensuring constant work to acquire food and drink. The environment provides no peace either. Exposure to heat, cold, or storms creates suffering. Shelter provides relief, but maintaining it requires continuous effort. No environment is permanently safe or stable. The body is always vulnerable to the elements. The sexual drive further demonstrates the compulsive nature of existence. Sexual urges build pressure and restlessness until acted upon. Release brings temporary calm, and biology even rewards the act with intense pleasure, making reproduction seem desirable. Often, this drive intertwines with emotional attachment. We fall in love and wish for it to last, seeking connection and fulfillment. Yet these attachments mostly end in heartbreak, as desire inevitably returns or relationships falter. Biology wires this compulsion into life to enforce reproduction, chaining individuals to drives they did not choose. Tiredness also functions as a form of punishment. It is an unpleasant mental and physical decline that demands sleep. Sleep restores energy, but fatigue always reappears after waking hours. Even rest itself can generate pain, with awkward posture, stiffness, or poor sleep leaving the body sore. Breathing is perhaps the most relentless example of compulsion. Withholding breath creates escalating pain and panic. Breathing relieves this, but only for a few seconds before the need arises again. There is no pause in this cycle, only the constant repetition of relief and renewed demand. Waste disposal is another bodily necessity bound to discomfort. The bladder and bowels build pressure when not emptied, producing unease and eventually pain. Relief comes only through release, yet the body continually produces waste, ensuring that this task repeats throughout life. Even general movement is laced with discomfort. The body aches from walking, from standing still, from bending, from lifting, and even from lying down too long. No position or state of being is free from eventual pain. Simply existing in a body guarantees suffering. Even basic hygiene becomes another cycle of compelled labor. The body produces sweat, oils, and bacteria that cause discomfort, irritation, or odor if not regularly cleansed. Teeth accumulate plaque and bacteria that, if neglected, lead to pain, cavities, or gum disease. Hair and nails also grow continually, demanding cutting, trimming, or shaving to remain socially acceptable or physically comfortable. Bathing, showering, brushing, and grooming temporarily restore cleanliness, reduce smell, and preserve appearance and health, but the need inevitably returns as the body continues its natural processes. Even here, biology and society bait the cycle with small pleasures. The satisfaction of feeling clean, the confidence of looking good, the brief pride in being presentable. These enjoyments make the compulsion easier to bear, but they never free us from it. Life's compulsion extends beyond the body to the spaces we inhabit. Dirt, dust, and clutter accumulate relentlessly, making the environment uncomfortable, unhealthy, or unpleasant. Cleaning the house, washing dishes, doing laundry, and tidying personal spaces temporarily restores order and comfort. But the effort is never permanent. Mess always returns. Clothes, too, demand constant attention. They must be changed, washed, and maintained, since wearing the same unwashed garments leads to odor, discomfort, and potential health issues. These chores add another layer of unavoidable labor, ensuring that even one's surroundings and appearance enforce participation in life's endless cycle of work, temporary relief, and renewed obligation. Disease, injury, and the gradual decay of aging add layers of forced labor. Managing illness, recovering from injury, and compensating for weakness or disability demand continuous effort. Aging itself imposes work. Maintaining mobility, cognition, and independence becomes an ever-increasing challenge. Even health and fitness are not optional. They are required just to stave off decline and pain. Mental and emotional life compounds the burden. Anxiety, stress, and depression act like invisible whips, enforcing behaviors or preventing inaction. Desire, ambition, and curiosity keep the mind trapped in cycles of striving and dissatisfaction, compelling work even when unnecessary for survival. Social and economic structures add further layers of compulsion. Jobs, education, taxes, laws, and social expectations require effort just to survive. Loneliness, rejection, and shame act as psychological punishments, enforcing behavior without physical need. Randomness in the external world, the unpredictability of accidents, natural disasters, and threats demands constant vigilance and adaptation. Life is never stable or secure. Even the safest environments can erupt into crisis, forcing work to regain safety or recover losses. All these cycles culminate in death, the ultimate compulsion. Every act of labor, effort, or striving is temporary, ultimately ending in oblivion. The body, mind, and society conspire to enforce participation in life, chaining individuals to cycles of pain, relief, and renewed obligation. Life, therefore, is not freedom but an endless sequence of pain, forced action, temporary relief, and renewed pain. The body ensures compliance through suffering, while dangling pleasures like eating, sex, or looking good as bait to keep us engaged. These moments of enjoyment are not freedom but tools of reinforcement, keeping us bound to the cycle until death. Existence is forced labor, work without consent, driven by pain, paid only with brief respites and fleeting pleasures before the whip cracks again.